Welcome back, Saber enthusiasts. I'm Nick Nitro and I am the Lord of the Crucible. We have had an interesting couple of months lately. First, we actually had a little bit of damage to the Crucible itself. That was very interesting. We actually got that fixed, as you can see here. But then after that, well, things went a little sideways and I took some damage myself. That's now fully healed, so let's get on with our next video. We are actually installing, or getting ready to install the AV switch, which you see right here. Now this is a segmented ring purple illuminated AV switch. Really nice, got this from Saber Bay. So before we hook all the wires up, we actually have to put in a 1 ohm resistor here. Because we're going to be wiring this into the 5-volt rail of the Proffie board, and we want to make certain that the LED doesn't get burned out. So, as you can see, we're just going to go ahead and take care of that here right quick. And this is actually going fairly smooth and easy. And here we are. Looks really nice. So now we're going to go ahead and thread the wires into the upper chassis here, and we're going to go ahead and thread them right through the buttonholes so we've got all of our wires in one space so we can work with them all together. Now all we have to do is seat this PCB in here and we should be ready to go. But something doesn't quite feel right. Something's not working right here. Yeah. Let's get a look at that, shall we? Yeah, something feels way off. And there's the issue right there. Right there. That wire is actually a little too close to the edge of the PCB. So we're going to go ahead and get that removed, trimmed up, and replaced. And there we go. That should work fine now. Let's go ahead and take care of this solder bridge. And we are set. Now, right about here's when I noticed something. The chassis is actually a little too short. It results in a really deep blade socket. And I only want one that's about 2 inches deep. So as you can see here, I went ahead and cut off the NeoPixel PCB holder from the chassis where I had glued it in. Now I had to be very careful. I used a Dremel. I was fortunate enough not to damage any of the wires. I went ahead and made a chassis extension out of a piece of old blade material. So we're going to go ahead and get the wires in here. And then we're going to go ahead and glue everything together very, very carefully. Now I am not sponsored by any particular company, but I do use Slow Zap cyanoacrylate. It's a super glue, but it's a very slow setting super glue. I highly recommend it for work like this because it gives you between 30 seconds to a minute to get everything positioned and set before it finally starts to take hold. And here we go. Okay, at this point we are ready to go ahead and insert the chassis. We just have to tuck these wires out of the way. As you can see, everything is sitting nice and tight. So, let's see. how we do here. Let's go ahead and get these wires put in. Okay, now we're ready to go ahead and insert the chassis into this saber hilt. Just want to be a little on the careful side. We want to make certain that the AV switch holes line up right here and here. And next comes the really fun part. We get to remove those wires. We get to pull them out so that we've got all the wires we need to actually connect them to the switch. Now let's go ahead and get these wires prepared and ready for soldering. Now this is a diagram of how I'm connecting all of the wires here. I do have a mistake in the diagram. The resistor is supposed to be on the positive line, which I actually have it correctly soldered in. But you see how I've got the data lines coming to the two data pins here. This will allow the AV switch to act as an accent LED before sending the data on out to the saber blade itself. So fingers crossed, this should work. We'll see. And while we're watching me solder in the wires here, there is one thing that I had to address that I was not aware of when I started. The switch here is actually about 12 millimeters wide, which, okay, fairly common. But it turns out the Ultra Saber's bodies are only a 10.5 millimeter wide hole. So after shaving down the threads on the switch a little bit, I was able to get that pressed in, but it is so tight it won't come out. Well, thank you for watching this video. If you stuck around to the end, please give this a like, a share. I am Nick Nitro, and I will see you in the Crucible.